After recording yesterday's video, Ludia actually sent out a second notice, this time regarding the Alliance missions issue. Basically, it says, "Hello DPG members. Here's a quick update on the Alliance mission. A few weeks have passed, and we know you're all wondering when it will be fixed and back in the game. Our team was hoping to have this feature up and running by the end of today." That was yesterday. They worked really hard. After many discussions, we felt more comfortable delaying it. We're aiming to have the Alliance missions back by next week. We want to make sure that the feature is working as intended and needed the extra time to do so. We'll update this thread if there are any more changes to the next couple of days. And you can find this information on Ludia's forums if you want to read more details about it. And I think that's good. I like that they're being out front with people and letting you know, hey, this is a known issue. Yes, it was good. We're sorry it's not there. And we're trying to get it back, but we'd rather get it right than just get it back in the game. And speaking of getting it right, when did everybody get a level 25 Thor? Do you ever have one of those days in the battle arena where no matter what you do, nothing works properly? You don't hit your crits, you have the right matchup, you still lose, you make bad choices, you're just not seeing things clearly? And I'll tell you what, yesterday was that day. And I don't even know that it was necessarily the fact that I'm not seeing the game well, although at this point I'm kind of questioning whether I even know how to play this game at all anymore. But every team I came across in the battle arena yesterday had a level 25 Thor or above, and it didn't matter if I was up 2-0. Thor would come in and just decimate my team. It would be 3 hits, 3 crits, 3 quits, and I just throw my hands up. It was not fun at all. And surprisingly, I didn't drop that many trophies in the general standings, and I really don't know what happened, but I just do not remember seeing so many people with such high level Thors. Now, all of this led to round 2 of the tournament that I'm involved in. I don't even know what it's called. It's just the draft tournament, for a lack of a better term. But if you don't remember what this is, or if you don't know what this is, I will put a card up here, I think. And you can catch up on the first round. Basically, just a quick, brief introduction to this in case you don't know what it is. Basically, all the dinos that you've unlocked are in a draft pool. You have 8 team members, or however many you want to have. Everybody can draft 1 figure to their team per round, and you just go in a snake draft. So 1 through 8, 8 through 1. Once a creature has been chosen, you can't choose it for anybody else's team. Now, having such a rough day in the battle arena yesterday, I was really hesitant to even want to do this battle with my second round opponent, because I'm like, I can't win. I can't do anything right. But I knew that in the first round, I took out the opponent that had Thor on their team. So I'm like, okay, I'll just go ahead and do this, because if my trophies haven't fallen a whole lot, then obviously, if I don't go up against Thor, I'm still doing all right. And the funny thing about all this is when I was setting this up with my opponent, I even said, thank God you don't have Thor on your team, because I cannot beat that dinosaur today. It was a little foreshadowing there. So, I hate doing this, but I did it anyways. I played the battles last night and I just screen recorded. So I'm going to give commentary after the fact. And just for full disclosure, for some reason, game number 3 did not record. I have no idea why, but I have the rest of the games already recorded. So here we go. I'm going to jump into game number 1 and just give you, as best as I can, my post-match commentary. Game number 1, and let me just tell you, every game that I play, I drew Gigaspikosaur and Notapatosaurus. I think every single game. So I have Dimorphodon, Dimodactylus, Giga, Notopato, and Gorgosuchus. Not a good team. My first 2 picks were Indoraptor and Tenontorex. Neither one of them are here. I actually started with Dimodactylus by mistake. I was trying to think, well, what am I going to start with? Because I didn't like any of my options. I got actually really lucky here, because my opponent started with Brachiosaurus, and I'm like, okay, well, I can just drop Bleed, get out of here, and it's going to do an insane amount of damage. I can put in a tank and just hope to survive. So that's what I do. Superiority Strike hits me, I lose the speed advantage. It would have been nice to keep the speed advantage there, because then I could have dropped a second Bleed down on my opponent, but as such, no such luck. So I think I just go ahead and do the straight swap here, and I go into Notopato Titan, I don't know why I picked Notopatatitan over Gigaspikosaur, except for I think Gigaspikosaur is better. So I wanted to save it for the end game. My opponent goes with Rampage. My whole point here is to just sustain the attack. Huge, huge damage off of the bleed. And then I go with Bellow. Like I said, I'm not really trying to do any damage. I'm just letting it bleed out. And I think it lost almost 2,000 damage on the previous attack. My opponent made a smart play here by going Superiority Strike, which is going to slow me down as it gets bled out here. Almost 2,000 damage. So I'm up 1-0, and I'm feeling okay. Not super excited, but I don't like my team actually. But I'm like, okay, well, I took out Bracky, so we're okay. And here comes Allosinosaurus, which is Thor's like relative. And I'm looking at my screen here like, well, what? This is a complete counter to 2 of my dinosaurs that I have in my deck. So I go for Decelerating Impact. I'm honestly, all I'm trying to do here is I've already given up my Notopato. I've already given it up. All I want to do is as much damage as I possibly can on my way out the door. The instant charge didn't take me out. I really thought instant charge was gonna knock me out there, and when it didn't, I was like, okay. So again, there's no way I'm gonna take this out. I'm gonna do the Decelerating Impact, which should let my next dinosaur be the faster of the 2, and they swap out. And I'm actually okay with this, because now I'm gonna slow down another tank, and yeah, it's tank on tank after I've already knocked out Bracky. So you see 4 big tanks in this battle. I did the Decelerating Impact, which actually I think got me an extra attack here that I wasn't anticipating having. Shield Advantage is a new move. Like, I haven't even unlocked Diplodocus, so I had no idea what the moves were. But I believe that's a new move with Shield Priority. And now I'm stuck. I don't know what to choose here. I think Gorgosuchus is a good counter to these big tanky dinosaurs, so that's why I went with that. My other option was I could have gone with another bleed, but I definitely wasn't going to drop Gigaspikosaur up against this thing. I get a nice crit there, and a chance to load up my monstrous attack. The problem is I took a huge hit. So I'm going to go with my Rampage, Defense Shattering, is it Rampage? Yeah, Defense Shattering Rampage. And now I'm up 2-1. And I have a less than half health dinosaur, but it's fast, and it's already loaded up. And here comes Ornithormimus. Now you know Ornithormimus can just dodge for days, but one solid hit, it would have been nice to get a hit off there. But now it's 2-2, and my whole thought here is I just want to hit it with the counterattacks. I want to give myself as many attacks on this Ornithormimus as possible. Evasive Strike is the only play that my opponent really has. They could have done Impact and Run, but honestly, like, their other dinosaur is about 50%, 60% health. So all I'm doing is I'm just trying to do as much damage as possible. If I hit through this Evasive Strike, that would have been nice to get a crit there. It would have been nice to land this, which I do. I'm just trying to wear out as much damage as possible because I can't bring in my next dinosaur. My next dinosaur, the bleed, will do no good on Ornithormimus. 900 left to my 2970. I feel like I'm in pretty good position here. Impact and Run, which I'm going to be able to smack with the counterattack, which is going to render Ornithormimus basically useless at this point. It can no longer swap in. Now I have Allosinosaurus with 1482 left. Those are my moves. That is all I have to choose from. Decelerating Impact, 30% crit, doesn't land. And my woes continue with Thor and Thor's cousin and his nephew, and now I'm down 1-0. Although I felt pretty good because I didn't have a great team, and I was a crit away. I was one attack on Ornithormimus away from taking a 1-0 lead. Now game number 2, I'm down 1-0, Not happy about that, although I'm not feeling too terrible. I was like, I didn't even really have a great team, and I thought like I said, I was within one attack. Match number 2, watch what happens here. It's not loading. Like, the game is not loading. It should be. I hear the music, but the game isn't loading. So I have to back out and restart the game completely. After what seemed like forever of a wait, the battle is already going on. I didn't pick my moves. I have no idea what's going on. I don't even know which dinosaurs I have to choose from. But I see Gorgosuchus out there, which is a dinosaur that I never really want to lead with. And unfortunately, I feel like my basic attack there is not what I would have chosen to do. I would have gone with the Ferocious Strike to do the self buff, and I didn't get to do that. So I took more damage than I probably should have in this particular matchup here. But once again, my opponent is leading with Brachiosaurus. Gorgosuchus goes ahead and takes out another tank, which is what Gorgosuchus was born to do. Are you freaking kidding me with Allosinosaurus? Again, second battle, second time my opponent's had Allosinosaurus, and I've already like mentally checked out on this dinosaur. I'm so mad at this stupid dinosaur because I cannot beat it. I cannot be. I have nothing, whether it be my league deck or this battle deck, to counter this thing. I bring in Tyrannosaurus just because it has a ton of HP. Go with the Superiority Strike here because it's the only move that I have. And honestly, I'm so checked out at this point. Because you've got to be kidding me. Like, how can I struggle so bad against this one dinosaur? I go for my stun move here. Oh, but wait, we're gonna do an instant crit and hammer my dinosaur that I brought in to sustain all these hits is actually sustaining all the hits, but I needed it to be more than just a one dinosaur. I think I got one attack off on Allosino. Now, here comes Dio Raja with a nice little counterattack. Thankfully for me, my stun lands, and I believe I go impact and run here, which completely takes Dio Raja out of the game because I'm going to swap into my Lurkosaurus Gen 2. Dio Raja is out. I'm up 2-1 again, and I have two dinosaurs that haven't even touched the field yet. I'm feeling pretty good here. Taking out Dio Raja without Dio Raja doing anything was really nice. I guess it gets one counterattack in here because there was nothing I could do about the instant invincibility. But I went for the speed up in case they went for a swap out, and I knew I was going to get the knockout here. I think I went with distracting impact, debilitation, whatever, in case they swapped in, which they did. They're going to land a bleed on me, but I'm going to do pretty good damage here. So 1280, it's bound for 2 turns. I think at this point, I think I've conceded that I'm going to lose my Lurkosaurus Gen 2, but I'm also going to want it to do as much damage possible on its way out. So I'm not up 2-1 yet. It's still 1-1, although I'm feeling pretty good here. Go with my speed. I'm already faster. My speed up takes it out. I feel pretty thankful that whatever that is never even got a bleed down onto my big tank. Dio Raja comes in, and this is when I finally take it out. So now my opponent has a flyer that can bleed that is really weak. And Allosinosaurus. Luckily, I'm faster, but that's going to give my opponent a turn to set up on my dinosaur, and Tyrannosaurus is done at this point because it's too weak to do anything. I can't bring it in to get chomped on, especially with the instant charge ready to go. So here I go. I have Nodopato Titan. Again, Allosino is an amazing counter to Nodopato Titan. The only thing I have going for me here is the fact that it only has 1200 health and I have 5100. Instant charge, stun. There went some of my health, almost 1000 I believe. And I'm just going for the most damage I can possibly do. My opponent, probably rightfully so, swaps in drops a bleed down. The only problem with that is it's not going to bleed 4100 worth of damage, and my 1500 is going to knock it out, thankfully tying things up at 2-2 or 1-1, but I still haven't knocked out Allosinosaurus. Now here's the problem. Game 3 didn't record. I don't know why, but I got destroyed. I had Gigaspikosaur, Allosino swept through my team. I don't remember exactly what happened. I just remember being like, you've got to be kidding me with this stupid dinosaur. Now, also in game 3, what you did not see is, once again, there was no Indoraptor, there was no Tenontorex. My first 2 picks, my best 2 dinosaurs, were not involved in any of these first 3 battles. And now I'm down 2-1. If I lose again, I go home. So we're gonna move on to game number 4. At this point, I'm just praying that I don't have to go up against Allosino. But for full disclosure, my opponent didn't have their number 1 draft pick, which was Dilorachirus, either in any of his battle teams. So me not having my first 2 picks wasn't the worst thing in the world, but my team was built around Indoraptor and Tenontorex. And now for game number 4. Remember, I'm down 2-1 here. Can I please get a good team? Like, for once, can I please get a good strike team? Just give me a chance. That's all that I'm looking for here, is a chance, and I get Indoraptor. Like, thank God. Dilorachirus. So we both have our number 1 picks on the board, and we both chose to lead with them. So I'm gonna go with my evasive stance here, because I'm gonna need to be able to survive a couple of hits. Really? 0 for 1. So now I go with my cleansing impact, and I'm gonna get greater stunning rampage. And at that point I knew I was done. My best dinosaur, the best figure that I have in the game, is done in 2 hits. Never even got an attack off. And so I'm like, well, you can't, if you lose your first dinosaur without ever doing any damage, I'm just gonna go ahead and say you can't win. I mean, it's academic at this point. I try it out, hit through the shield, impact and run, rampage and run, into their Diplodocus. I'm like, great. I don't know anything about this dinosaur. Like, I know 0 about it. I don't know its moves. I haven't unlocked it. I don't care if I unlock it right now, but it's not good. And it's not good for me, because I don't know anything about it. I do know that I'm probably not going to beat it. It seems to have the exact same moveset that I have. So my desire to slow it down so that I could drop some damage on it isn't working out. My Indoraptor, which has shield breaking, is gone. Diaraja comes out, and Diaraja, it has a way better showing in this battle than it did in the last battle, although it really did nothing in the second battle. It had got 1 counterattack in. I don't know what you do in this situation when you lose your mainstay, your quarterback, the very first play of the game, second play of the game. Trying to come back from that, I don't know. I don't know how you come back from that, especially with this team. It's so one-dimensional. Yeah, it's got a ton of HP that my opponent has to knock out, but my opponent has dinosaurs that are fully capable of doing large amounts of damage. I wish I'd drawn better teams. I don't know that the outcome would have been the same, because, like I said, in those first two matches, actually the first 3, like Allosino, I had no answer for. I had no answer for that dinosaur. Oranosaurus was probably my best option. I never got to get Oranosaurus up against. Well, I did that one time, and it took out quite a bit of health. But other than that, I could not swap in to a dinosaur against Allosino, because then you're just taking way too many hits. I felt like I just had to leave it in there to take whatever was there, had to take it, and I had to try to set up a better matchup on the next dinosaur coming in. And it just never really worked out in my favor here. Like I said, my team was so one-dimensional with the 2 tanks. I was hoping that I'd get one or the other on my team. I definitely did not ever want both of them on the same team, and maybe not in game 2, but in games 1, 3, and 4 for sure, I had them both. And so when I tell you guys for the battle arena, you can't be too one-dimensional, this is a perfect example. Even at level 26, where these dinosaurs are really, really good. Like, they're really strong, really powerful, they have a ton of HP. If you're too one-dimensional, my team absolutely was one-dimensional here, it's too easy to counter. In fact, having one dinosaur, Allosinosaurus, Thor, on your opponent's team completely counters 50% of your team. And I'm down 2-0 here. I'm doing very little to knock out my opponent. At this point, like, I knew once Endo was done that I had lost. Whether I made the right plays or not made the right plays, I don't know. But I knew when I lost what I considered the best dinosaur in the game, right off the bat, I knew it was over. And then just for the cherry on top, my opponent has Allosino again. Every time, all 4 draws, Allosino, and it's comical because, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, when I started the day, I could not beat Thor. I told my opponent, I'm like, I can't beat Thor. I have no answer for that. And then Thor's younger cousin comes through, and I had no answer for that either. So I am eliminated from the tournament. It was fun. I had a good time while it lasted, and we're having a Fodder Alliance tournament. So we need a few more people to join into the tournament. If you want to be part of the Fodder Alliance, you have to go to Discord. And if you tell me, well, I don't have Discord, but I want to be in your alliance, you can't. And I'm sorry to be like just cut and dry about this, but we do too much conversation and we have too much like putting things together on Discord for you not to be a member of the Discord. And so if you choose not to be a member of Discord, you cannot be in the Fodder Alliance, and I apologize. It's just kind of the way that it has to be. But there's a link in the description below if you are interested in joining the Fodder Alliance via Discord. You can play against some of my Alliance members. If you win, you're in. And as always, if you want a guaranteed spot in to the Alliance, there's always the option of going through Patreon. I'm still mad. And as a side note, today, I still can't beat Thor. Leave in the comments below. What do you use to beat Thor? Because I'm at a loss right now. I've never seen so many level 25 and above Thors in all my life. And they, like I said before, I can be up 2-0 and Thor will wipe my team. That's all I've got for this one. So until next time.